Hey guys, in this video I'm going to walk you through how I think the best way is right now to build an irresistible offer in 2024 and beyond, okay? So if you don't know me, I am James. I'm the founder of Automate Clients, and we've worked with over 400 different agency owners, coaches, consultants over the last 3 years. We've helped them build offers, we've helped them build out their acquisition systems, and we helped them scale, some scaling past 100K a month. So what I want to do today is I want to explain to you how you can basically look at your business, look at your offer and your marketing right now in your agency or your coaching business. And I'm going to give you a specific step-by-step framework that you can actually install today that's going to lower your cost per acquisition. It's going to increase the amount of leads, increase the amount of appointments, and ultimately bring you more revenue into your business for less. So more profit, more time, more money, more, right? So before I even mention any sort of offer framework, you have to dial in your audience. So if you're someone there that's like, I've got my audience, I work with agency owners or I work with dentists, that's okay, but that's not really dialed in. Maybe you're someone that works with any business. And then I would say, that's mistake number one. So please don't make that mistake, because without a specific avatar, your offer will perform poorly, for lack of a better term, right? So to be specific, your avatar should consist of at least their age, their gender, their industry, their revenue. Like that's just the basics, right? So if you haven't done this already, you need to do it right now. For example, my avatar could be 20 to 30-year-old men that are agency owners stuck between 10 and 50K a month in revenue. And if we compare that to what probably most people are doing, and probably why they're stuck, is they're targeting anyone between the ages 18 to 65, male or female. They have to own a business and they have to have more than 3 employees. So just super generic, super vague. It just doesn't work. And now, I shouldn't really have to explain this, but an avatar has a unique pain points with common bottlenecks that you can relate to and solve based on your previous experience or personal experience. So what I really mean by that is based on what you've done to get you from point A to point B yourself, or maybe a personal experience that you've been involved in. So maybe you've worked for an agency in the past and you've learned how they do that acquisition, and now you're going to leverage that experience that you've done inside another business to help another business and another business. So what you're really doing there is you're dialing it in to the point where everything is unique, everything is very custom. So they feel heard, they feel respected. And what that allows you to do is allows you to get people to listen, it gets people to like you, and it gets people to actually trust you, with trust being the end goal. Because if someone trusts you, that equals more money, right? They're going to pay you, right? If they trust you, they will pay you. Let's just keep it as simple as that. So more transactions, right? And more transactions equals scale, and more scale equals impact, and impact equals more time, more money, more freedom for you. So that's why you have to dial in your audience, right? And you may have heard the term, there's riches in the niches, and I believe that 100 times over, okay? So I'm glad we got that out of the way. I just want to dive right into why you're here, and that's actually building out the irresistible offer in 2024, okay? I'm going to go over the most up-to-date frameworks of building cold-friendly / irresistible offers that are working today and beyond, okay? You see, most businesses are relying on the widely used value equation created by Alex Hormozi as influence into building their offers, right? I mean, I've read that book 3 or 4 times. I used it. I sucked the life out of that book to the point where it's outdated now, right? Not that it doesn't work, but as in, you're just a commodity in the market. Everyone's using the same offer, right? So it's very hard to break through the noise. So yes, it does still work, but after creating 400 plus offers for agency owners and coaches in the last 2 years, I've realized how we condense the value equation is the problem. Most offers use a very simple offer building framework where it's achieve a result in Y time or there's no risk, right? And I actually built an offer like this over a year ago, or a little over a year ago now, probably a year and a half. Wow, it's been a while, but over a year and a half ago, and it was close 10 clients in 90 days or your money back. Now that's not a bad offer. It really isn't in any means necessary. I don't see that as being a bad offer. I have clients that are using similar offers today and doing extremely well, making 50K, 100K a month. So it's not necessarily a bad offer, but you've always got to be try and be 2 steps ahead of the game, right? 2 steps ahead to your competition, so that when eventually that basic format does dry up, you're going to have something better in your back pocket or something that you're already scaling past that. So yes, it's a good offer, but no, because it doesn't tell the whole picture, right? It doesn't take into consideration the audience's current situation, right? Who they are today is so important for them to realize the gap between where they are at versus where they want to go. So their desired outcome, right? Or the result, as we framed it in that framework. So, to improve the offer, we could add something like this. Go from feeling burnt out and tired of inconsistent revenue months to closing 10 new clients the next 90 days, or I refund you in full. It's the same offer, it's the same result, it's the same timeline, it's the same risk reversal. But what we've added at the beginning is the pain, the feeling that the person's actually experiencing. So what you're doing is you're getting into their emotions at that point. You're imagining you're an agency owner, you're feeling stressed, you're feeling burnt out, you're tired, you're fed up of going 10K, back to 5K, up to 12K, back to 3K a month, and just like a yo-yo effect, right? I see it all the time. And I've been there, so I know that feeling. It's very, very frustrating, right? So when you have that extra layer, that extra bit of information, condensed into the offer, into the headline. It adds an extra layer of essentially trust, but people can relate. So, oh, that is me. I identify as this avatar that you are trying to call out. So it does make it better. But I also believe there's another step to take, right? So how can we improve that even more? So what I've realized is if you add a mechanism to the offer and change the way it's framed slightly, you can actually create something like this. Install this acquisition engine in 2024 and go from feeling burnt out to closing 10 plus new clients in the next 90 days or your money back. Now, this would be more in line with a done for you offer because we're saying we're going to do this thing for you or you can install this thing. Not necessarily, but it does speak more likely that the consumer is going to expect some level of done for you unless it's explicitly explained away throughout the rest of the sales process. But we're not going to get into that today, right? So I was writing this in real time. So this, as I'm reading this out loud, this is how my brain was actually working. So what I decided was I kind of crossed wires, right? I went from adding in a pain point and feelings to then going and building actually a much more condensed done for you offer that as I would perceive it. And I'm sure most of you would as well. So what I realized was you have two sides of the coin. You have a done with you and a done for you offer, right? You could say do it yourself or done with you is in the same bracket. On those two sides of the coin presents a very different outlook in terms of how someone's going to perceive the offer on the front end. So what I decided to do was create two separate formulas, one for coaching, so do it yourself or done with you offers, and then one for done for you offers. So if we focus on this one first, if we focus on the done with you offer first, what I've created compared to what we spoke about at the beginning is this. So go from X situation to desired outcome in Y time by mechanism or risk reversal. So what that looks like is, this example is in terms of like a fitness coach, because when I think of a coach, that's the first thing that comes to my head. So go from feeling bloated, tired, and having stubborn belly fat to easily losing 20 to 30 pounds in 90 days by using the FIT method or you don't pay. So a traditional framework of that would have been lose 20 to 30 pounds in 90 days or you don't pay. So very, very simple. But what we've done is we've taken it back. We've added in their current situation, their feelings, their pain. And we've also added in a mechanism. So we've really broadened out the offer in terms of how it's being read, how it's being received, because there seems to be a lot more going on. But all you're doing is adding value to the offer, right? You're making people feel heard. You're also adding a lot of curiosity around the mechanism, because when somebody reads this sentence, one of the first questions is, what is the FIT method? And as a good offer, it's simply a tool that generates interest, which then we know we can capture into leads and appointments. So if they're curious about the offer, they're going to click on the ad, they're going to open the email, they're going to reply to the DM, they're going to take action, whatever you're asking them to do, because they want to just know that little bit more. There's a little bit of curiosity and the intent is there. So that's all we're trying to do in the very beginning of having a good offer, right? And that's what it is all about. So I shouldn't have to explain that much more. If you do sell a done with you or do it yourself program, maybe you're an online coach, I would definitely take whatever you're doing right now and try and leverage this framework, or this formula rather, and see what you come up with. You might need to write out 20 different variations, cut out a few you don't like, add in a few different variables, and then see what you can come up with, okay? So that's formula number one. Now, formula number two is a much more done for you offer, okay? So a done for you mechanism to achieve desired outcome in Y time or risk reversal. So we'll install our 7-figure acquisition engine into your agency and guarantee you'll close 10 plus new clients in less than 90 days or your money back. So can you see, just as someone is listening and reading and watching this, that this one here compared to 10 clients in 90 days or your money back just adds a lot more to it. It just creates more curiosity. Like, what the hell is a 7-figure acquisition engine? Like, that's probably one of the first thoughts going into their mind, right? So with that, we're adding that extra step of, I want to know what this guy is on about. I want to learn more. I'm going to click on this ad. I'm going to react. I'm going to respond. 1, 2, 3, right? But the best part about all of this, from the Formula 1 to Formula 2 that we've spoken about already, is, when you're building out offers, it's a constant test of different variables, right? You have different outcomes, different mechanisms, different problems, different timelines. Like, you can create 100 million different offer variations. Like, the possibilities are endless, right? Because there's so many variables. And if we just look at Formula 2, we've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 different variables that we can mix up and change around, and we can see what one looks better, what one gets a better response, what one gets more clicks. There's so many things that we can test. But ultimately, the most important part of any offer is the outcome, right? If your outcome is not strong, it doesn't matter what the mechanism is. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter if there's any risk involved. Because if the audience doesn't want the thing, the outcome, then none of the other stuff matter. So one thing I haven't really focused on in this video just yet is how important it is to have a very strong outcome, a clear, desirable outcome that people genuinely want. So for example, if you're an agency owner stuck between 10 and 50K a month, 10 clients in the next 90 days, that's pretty good going. Like, you're like, okay, yeah, I need that right now. Like, that's something that I really need to get to my goals and to be able to do the things I want to do, to be able to buy my kids more presents, to be able to take them on a holiday, to buy my new car, whatever that thing is that you actually care about in life outside of work, it's all going to be attached to the outcomes of work, right? Of the business, of the success, because we all want either more time, more money, or more freedom, or a combination of all of them, right? So if you look at it in that sense, your desired outcome should be related to that, right? It should be, how can I get as much influence generated here? So for example, if it was, we'll install our 7-figure acquisition engine into your agency and guarantee you'll close 1 client in the next 90 days, well, that would be an awful offer, right? Because I'm sure any agency owner that is above 1K a month has confidence that they can probably get their own client in the next 90 days. So it has to be something that they don't believe that they can do on their own, something that they're currently struggling with to actually get to. So you might have an agency owner that is, closing 5 clients every 90 days right now, maybe 1 or 2 a month. And they're just, they're fed up with it. And they're like, if I could just double this business, all my answers would be, all my prayers would be answered. Like, that's all I want. So when they see a 10 clients a 90-day offer, they're like, wow, this is in line with my goal. I want to go from 20K a month to 40K a month. And I know I can do that if I can close, 10 clients in the next 90 days. Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense, guys, because it's really, really important to, understand every little part of this. But ultimately, what I'm here for is showing you the formula and how I think about building offers. Again, I build enough of them. I build multiple a day, probably 5 to 10 a day at this point. So it's what I think about a lot. And I know how important each variable is. And that's why, the two frameworks above will take you further than the original, this original here. But the real magic happens after you launch an offer. This is so important. So many people and are like, I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to work. I think it can be better. I don't like it. Like, you're just wasting time. You're costing you so much opportunity because you're not willing to test. In theory, I could say to you, this offer is amazing and I should spend £1 million behind it tomorrow on ads and make 10 million back, but I don't know that yet. It's all theory unless it's been proved by the market. So after you launch the offer, the data and the audience provides the feedback, and some offers work right away, right? You could run an offer and you get appointments and close deals the first day. Happens a lot. But also what happens equally as much is offers don't work and they just fall flat on their face, and they, for whatever reason, the market didn't like that offer, the way it was presented. It could be, we get deeper into it, it could be much more than the actual offer, but it could be how it's worded, how it's formatted, what media channel it's being used on, what the targeting is. Like, there's lots of variables. But I have seen a very, very good offer work, a very bad ad, a very bad funnel, very poor media buying tactics. Like, what I mean is the offer carries 80% of the weight of the campaign, right? Everything else is just nuances that help improve it, that extra 20%. The main bread and butter of this system of acquiring clients, it all starts with the offer, right? So, that is why today I still do every single offer creation call with every single one of our done for you clients. Really, I shouldn't be doing that. But the only reason I do is because I know how important it is to the success of the client, right? So that's the last piece of this whole puzzle in my business that I will let go of, because I know it's the most important part. So if that means anything to you and you're there and you're not closing 10, 20 clients a month, what that means to you is you should be focusing on a better offer and getting in front of as many people in your avatar, in your audience as possible, right? And if you're not getting the response you want, if you're not getting the KPIs you want, go back, do it again and again and again and again. And I promise you, after trial and error, you will find a formula that works, because there is a combination for everyone, right? And that's why I said here, right? There's a combination that will work for any audience. You just have to find what that is. And a quick tip for this, study your competition. What are your competitors doing? What ads are they running? What campaigns are they launching? What content are they publishing? What offers are they pushing? Because you can download all of that information. You can see where they're failing and you can see where they're doing well. If someone is, got 101 ads on the ad library on Facebook, and all of those ads using the same offer, the same landing page, you can probably assume that that's doing quite well, because no one's going to put 101 ad sets behind a bad offer, right? So really important to do that part of it as well and do that research. So, you want to find what your competition are doing and make it 10 times better. What extra mechanism can you add in? What extra pain can you add in? How can you take the outcome a little bit further? How can you decrease the time they're going to get the result? How can you, lower the risk? All of these things you should be thinking of. For context as well, like I said before, I'm constantly tweaking my own offers, constantly, always thinking, can I do this better? Can I do that better? Will this work better? And just launching different offers, right? I put about $1,000 behind an ad or an offer to test it and let the market tell me if it's good or bad, right? So I spend $1,000, I'll see how many calls you book, how many of those calls are qualified, speak to the sales team, see how actually qualified they were, how likely are they going to buy. If people do buy and it's profitable, then I know we've got a winner and we can start spending more behind that. Right? So that's normally over a 1 to 2 week period. So I'll put $50 to $100 behind it, 10 to 14 or so days, and then we'll have enough data to make an educated decision on what's working and what's not, right? If you don't have $1,000 to test with paid ads, you can obviously still leverage organic, cold DMs, calling, cold email, whatever volume you can get your hands on. So whatever you're doing now before paid ads and it's not working, go and build a really good offer and try again. Because the actual channel doesn't matter. The only reason I love paid ads is because how automated it is, how seamless it is. It's the fastest feedback loop you probably can get, other than your own earned media, which I'll explain in a second. But it's, you can literally close a complete stranger in 24 hours. You can run an ad, they click on the ad, they book a call for the next day, and then they pay you in full, 10 grand. Like, that happens a lot. So yeah, I mean, I see organic as a stepping stone to paid ads. If you're thinking like, why, when should I do paid ads? Like, use organic to get enough cash to scale with paid ads. That's really the only way. The aim is to get as many of the right avatars to give feedback in the shortest time possible. So like I said before, we have an email list of like 12,000 or so. And so if I had a new offer and I want to get a feedback loop fast, same day, I'll send an email to those 12,000 people and I'll get an immediate, indication of that potential impact that offer will drive, right? And then I can be like, right, cool. A right amount of people or a lovely amount of people, whatever you want to phrase it, like, we're interested in that thing. I'm now going to go and spend $1,000 on building out the VSL and doing all of that so that I can then put more spend behind it and get more interest and make more sales. And it's a constant game of that. Like, it's a constant game of creating curiosity with the offer, turning that curiosity into actual tangible leads, first name, last name, email, and then turning those leads into appointments and turning those appointments into sales, right? And then turning those customers into recurring customers of higher lifetime value because you get them really good results, right? So, but everyone makes a mistake on step one. It's just building a really good offer. So I believe if you use these formulas, whether you're done for you agency, you're done with your coaching program, they will work tremendously well, right? So if you are a coach or an agency and looking to drive more leads, appointments, and clients in your business, you need to start optimizing your offer right now. Create 2 to 3 new offer tests every other week. Consistently write them down. Even if you don't actually use them, just get in a habit of writing them down in your journal, on your iPad, on your notes, wherever you do your note journaling, whatever. Even if you don't, Google Docs and just scramble. Spend 15 minutes a day just doing that, and you'll just get better and better and better at doing those things, right? Because this is like the thing that's enabled me to stay on edge, be competitive, and be ready to make changes and find new scalable offers, right? If you rely on one offer for too long, it is a ticking time bomb until that offer gets fatigued and stops performing. Take it from me. Don't stop obsessing over being better and driving more impact in your market. As soon as you get confident, as soon as you think I've made it, this is the one. I sit back and I do whatever I want now. That's when you'll start declining. That's when you'll fail. You have to obsess over it. And when it comes to marketing and sales, the catalyst, that is horrendous. The catalyst of it all is the offer, right? Does the audience want the thing that you have? Yes or no? If it's a yes, they're more likely to buy. If it's a no, they're never going to buy. So hopefully this helps. But I obviously do have an offer for you. This is an offer video / whatever it's going to be, YouTube video, internal video, some sort of video. I will personally install our 7-figure acquisition engine into your agency and guarantee you'll close 10 new clients every 30 days while you pay per close. If you are interested in that, potentially working with me on that, all you have to do is go to this link right here. I'll put a link to this document down below, but I'll also put a link to this as well beneath that. So if you are interested, you can simply come here, submit your interest, become a lead, and then we can have a conversation and see if we can actually help you. We do say no to 85% of people that book a call every single month. I know it's crazy, but we only want to work with people that we actually believe we can get from point A to point B. If we don't believe that, then there's no point that you giving us money because it's just going to end in tears. So if you are a good fit, if you're an agency and a coach, you help other people make more money. If you want to keep us, if you actually drive result with whatever mechanism, whatever service you're currently offering, and that is translatable into more revenue for a business, it's a biz op offer. So maybe you're turning somebody from a 9 to 5 into a better career path, anything like that. We can help you. We will absolutely crush it, to be completely honest, So anyway, it's all there. Go on the link. If you're happy to chat, we're happy to help and just be honest with you and you'll be honest with us. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Regardless, I hope you learned something new. I'll see you guys on the next one.